What if your breakdown is actually your breakthrough? What if the painful experiences you've been going through, the sleepless nights, the deep sadness, the confusing emotions, what if they aren't signs of mental illness, but of a spiritual transformation? And what if the truth is that you are having a mental breakdown because your soul is breaking through? Throughout my own spiritual journey, I've encountered many individuals who found themselves questioning this exact thing. They experienced intense psychological distress during their awakening, leading them to believe they were going insane or developing a severe mental disorder. In reality, they were simply undergoing a profound inner transformation, a process that often begins with a period of confusion and disorientation rather than immediate enlightenment and inner peace. This realization was a pivotal moment for me, shaping the way I approached the topic of spiritual awakening. And today, I want to share with you an enlightening conversation I had with the renowned psychologist Carl Jung, who offers a profound perspective on this common experience. In our discussion, he sheds light on the subtle line between awakening and what we traditionally perceive as a psychological collapse. According to Jung, this confusion is natural and inevitable and serves as a necessary phase in the journey towards greater self-awareness and enlightenment. In his book, Jung talks about how awakening often begins with a feeling of being lost or confused, a state which he describes as the death of the ego. During this stage, the seeker may feel disconnected from their previous sense of identity and purpose, leading to feelings of uncertainty and fear. This can be a challenging and unsettling experience, but according to Jung, it is an essential part of the transformative process. He believed that the ego must first be dissolved before one can attain a deeper understanding of themselves and their place in the universe. However, it's important to recognize that this process of ego death can be misinterpreted as a sign of mental illness. Many individuals who go through this experience may not have the necessary guidance or support to understand what they are going through. Instead, they may be diagnosed with conditions such as schizophrenia or other psychotic disorders. Jung cautioned against jumping to such conclusions, emphasizing the need for a more nuanced understanding of the awakening process. To understand why so many people experience these symptoms, we have to look at what's happening unconsciously. When we talk about the unconscious, we mean the vast storehouse of thoughts, feelings, and memories that lie beneath the surface of our awareness. It's here that the raw material of our psyche resides, including repressed emotions, unresolved conflicts, and deeply ingrained patterns of behavior. Jung believed that the unconscious is a powerful force that can influence our thoughts, feelings, and actions in ways that we may not even be aware of. As the seeker embarks on their journey of spiritual transformation, there is an eruption of unconscious content that seeks expression. This can manifest in a variety of ways, including dreams, fantasies, art, or even psychological symptoms. These expressions are not merely random or meaningless. They are attempts by the unconscious to communicate with us, to bring our attention to areas of our psyche that need to be integrated or healed. But why does it have to be so explosive? Why can't this integration happen peacefully? Jung proposed that this intensity is a result of the conflict between the conscious and unconscious aspects of our psyche. As the seeker begins to explore their unconscious material, there can be resistance from the ego, the part of our psyche that represents our conscious thoughts and feelings. This resistance can lead to a breakdown in our normal psychological functioning, manifesting as symptoms such as anxiety, depression, or psychosis. Jung viewed these symptoms not as signs of mental illness, but as expressions of the soul's journey. He recognized that the path of spiritual awakening is not always easy, and that those who embark on this journey may face significant challenges. However, he also believed that these challenges are surmountable, and that with the right guidance and support, one can emerge from the darkness into the light of greater understanding and wholeness. This brings us to the archetype of the wounded healer, a concept introduced by Jung to describe the common experience of those who work in helping professions such as medicine, psychology, and social work. The wounded healer is someone who has faced their own pain and suffering, but who has also found a way to heal and grow from these experiences. Jung believed that those who have undergone a significant transformation and emerged stronger on the other side are often called to help others who are going through similar challenges. The wounded healer is able to relate to the struggles of others because they have experienced them themselves. They understand what it's like to face intense psychological distress and emerge from it transformed. This empathy and understanding make them uniquely qualified to help others on their own healing journeys. For instance, if you're watching this video right now, it could be because you've personally gone through this experience yourself. You felt the darkness of the breakdown and emerged with a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. This makes you a living example of the possibility of healing and transformation. Your story has the power to inspire and uplift others who are still struggling in the darkness. Another aspect of the wounded healer archetype is the idea that the journey of healing is often accompanied by a great deal of pain and suffering. But Jung believed that this pain is not merely a negative experience to be avoided at all costs. Instead, he saw it as a catalyst for growth and transformation. Through suffering, the wounded healer is able to access a deeper level of wisdom and understanding that would not have been possible without that experience. In Jungian psychology, the dark night of the soul is a term used to describe a period of intense spiritual crisis and transformation. It typically occurs when an individual's old identities, beliefs, and values fall apart, leaving them feeling lost, confused, and in a state of despair. This can be a challenging and unsettling experience, but Jung believed that it is also a necessary step towards spiritual awakening and enlightenment. During the dark night of the soul, the seeker may experience a breakdown in their normal psychological functioning, leading to symptoms such as anxiety, depersonalization, or fear. However, Jung argued that these symptoms should not be viewed as signs of mental illness, but as expressions of the soul's journey towards wholeness. In fact, Jung saw the dark night of the soul as a critical phase in the process of individuation, which is the central concept in his theory of psychological development. According to Jung, individuation is a journey towards the realization of one's true potential and the integration of all aspects of the personality. It is a lifelong process that involves confronting and overcoming various challenges and obstacles, including those that arise during the dark night of the soul. Jung believed that the symptoms associated with the dark night of the soul are a manifestation of the conflict between the conscious and unconscious aspects of the psyche. As the seeker begins to explore their unconscious material, there can be resistance from the ego, leading to a breakdown in normal psychological functioning. However, Jung argued that these symptoms are not signs of mental illness, but rather expressions of the soul's journey toward wholeness. It's as if the soul is calling out to be heard, trying to break through the barriers that we have built up around ourselves. If we ignore this call, it will keep getting louder and more insistent until we pay attention. But if we are willing to listen and to follow its guidance, we can begin to heal and transform in ways that we never imagined possible. Jung saw the journey through the dark night of the soul as a necessary and transformative experience that can lead to greater wisdom, understanding, and compassion. By embracing the challenges and difficulties of this process, we can emerge on the other side as more complete and fulfilled individuals. When facing the breakdown, it is crucial to remember that the symptoms you are experiencing are not signs of mental illness. Instead, they should be seen as indicators that your soul is calling out for attention. Are you listening? Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a breakdown that turned out to be a breakthrough? Share your story in the comments below. Let's create a supportive community where we can learn and grow together. Thank you for joining me on this journey of spiritual exploration and self-discovery. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to show your support. Your support truly means the world to me and helps me continue creating content that inspires and uplifts others. Have a beautiful day, and until next time, may your cup always be full. With gratitude and love, the author.